what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Lineage Break, a Grand Archive TCG podcast. I am your host, Cam. With me, as always, is the glue, Steve.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hi, Steve.
It's been a while.
Yeah, you know, a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We were, you know, we've been busy boys.
Yeah.
Steve was sick last week.
Sick.
You know.
Oh, I fucking hate going from fall into winter.
Yeah. The
Because
colds.
It literally
They're
was
coming
like,
for you.
yeah. Just so you guys understand how New England works, if you have never been here. But this lovely time of year, Monday was 74 degrees last week.
That is true.
And then the following day, Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
was 28 degrees.
Yeah, today it's a balmy 50 out. You know, not so bad. It's gonna drop down to 35. That's totally doable. But
Yeah, but
you know, 20s.
You know, the 40-degree swings from day to day, it gets you sick. It's not
So
great.
what we're trying to say is that you should visit
Lovely Marlborough, Massachusetts
Marlborough,
on
Massachusetts.
December 2nd, because we are hosting Grand Archive Regionals.
Woo!
Very fun.
We are going to be the proud hosts of the Northeast Grand Archive FTC Regionals. Like Steve said, that'll be on December 2nd here in Marlborough, Massachusetts at Webway Games, which is our store. Woo.
Hooray.
Thank you so much to the dev team for giving us the opportunity. It's a small crowd up here, and we put in a lot of work to try to like grow the game and build the scene. So you know, obviously I'm hoping for tons of attendance, but it's great to get some support from the developers for our burgeoning Northeast community. Because I don't know if you guys know, Stephen, but I don't know if the people know, right? That the Northeast has long been a hot spot for competitive card games. A huge Magic crowd back in the day when people played that game. We even had a really big Weiss Shores scene up here for a long time.
I hate to say
a Force of Will scene.
There was a competitive Force of Will scene here. Most of I would say a lot of the players that I played with were world competitors. Also, Yu-Gi-Oh was huge here.
Yeah.
Massachusetts, New York, Rhode Island, very, tons and tons of large events.
We still have a very competitive Flesh and Blood scene here. All that's great, and that could be Grand Archive as well. So we just got to get people to play the game.
Right.
It's always,
I feel like we have been doing as much as we can, right?
Well,
we do enough.
We could always be doing more.
We could always be doing more, correct? But we are extremely excited to be hosting this regional.
Yeah.
Because it gives us the opportunity to show the game.
Yeah, it's great to have like a big marquee event. I've had some people asking about the game, and after I give them the pitch, as I always do, then I'm like, and also, if you happen to get into the game, you should, consider coming to our event on December 2nd. It's only, there's only 6 in the country. We're going to be one of them, and people are usually like, oh, wow, that's crazy. So hopefully, it helps grow the scene, and hopefully we get some people to come out. I know the folks from DC have already reached out to me, and they're going to be coming up, which is great. I talked to the True Champion guys, because somebody, we were at Store Champs last week, and somebody was like, yeah, I think they're coming up. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll send them a message. They're not. It's the same week as Auckland, so the True Champion guys will be in New Zealand. But yeah, hopefully people travel up. Thank you guys, again, for the opportunity. Hopefully we will see you there December 2nd, Webway Games. I will leave a link to tickets down below, and we'll be doing tons of posting over the month, so you guys will be assuredly sick of hearing me talk about it. Other than that, we are in the full swing of Store Championship season. Like I said, we went to one last week. Our Store Championship, as of recording, is tomorrow. So that's exciting. We have a couple more on the horizon. It's I don't know if this is a maybe a New England thing or a global thing, but it seems like there's less this season than there was last season.
Yeah, that's definitely true. It might just be a New England thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
I know that. I know last season, from talking with people down in Houston, we were like spoiled with the amount of.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like a lot of places didn't have quite the quantity that we did.
Yeah, I saw somebody talking about it on the Discord yesterday. I think maybe it was Washington State, and there's like one in the state. Yeah, which is crazy. So encourage your LGSs. I don't think it's like a It's not like a Weeb's not giving out enough invite cards.
No. It's like you have to
your
sign
LGS
up for
sign up. We do that. We do have a reputation for not only us but other people in the community. Like Rav does a bunch of reaching out to make sure that stores sign up for their store championships, and it helps that we at least a couple of us up here run stores. So
right. It's easier when you and all of your friends are running stores. Right, you're like, hey, did you sign up?
You should do the thing.
Don't forget to sign up.
Had to do that to our lovely friends at Let's Play Collectibles. Didn't sign up on time, but they're signed up now.
Yeah,
so that's good. But yeah, we're just coming out playing the game. We don't really need our invites, so it's pretty low stress this season. I want that cute Lunette playing that.
I've obviously, it's been a while. I've been sick, and I've had a lot of stuff come up lately that it's been impeding me from playing the game. So the first time I've played almost since Houston was at the store championship last weekend,
and it went great.
And I won, guys. I did not win.
That's not true.
I went 0-2. Drop because I am a coward.
The event was won by our very own Lineage Break Trengon.
Trengon took it. It was between Lineage Break Cam and Lineage Break Trengon playing the same exact day.
Yeah, we were playing a 80 card mirror, which is really tough.
It was
deck's pretty good though.
Deck was very cool. I have thoughts about the Water Lorraine mirror.
It's cursed.
It is, excuse my French, fucking awful. It's awful.
It's fine.
When you're not playing a card game and you have to sit for 2 hours watching one match.
Hey, wasn't that long.
It felt like that.
It's tough though. Everybody's just playing around Frostbind and Song of Frost the whole game, so everything just moves much slower.
Yeah. I was watching football.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah.
For those who don't know, I'm not a sports guy.
That's the one with your hands.
Yeah.
Not your feet.
I'm not a sports guy. And it was more entertaining than watching the water mirror.
You know what? That's probably true. I don't know. So we do actually have a lot to talk about since we've been gone. We have a new B&R to talk about. We've completely completed spoiler season, spoiler season 1 of ALC. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our stupid video.
Please vote for my performance. I really want
at the Oscars.
Yeah, I really want that Oscar.
Yeah, the Academy Awards. Yeah. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to talk about newsy news today, and then next week we will do like a deep dive on all of the spoilers, and we'll go through them card by card and tell you guys how we feel about them. I think this is a much more digestible way to do spoilers, which is great, because even when FTC spoilers came out and they were like all out very close to each other, it's so hard to talk about like 90 cards.
Yeah.
But next week we'll sit down. It's like, I don't know, I think it's like 40 cards or something.
Yeah, and
that got spoiled.
We might even just actually have a conversation and just like split it up maybe.
Yeah,
because there are a lot, and like it benefits us to take the time and do justice, not only for us but for you guys as well.
Yeah, of course.
To explain what the cards do.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like trying to jam 40 cards in 30 minutes might be a lot.
That's fair. And us, it's always good for us to read the cards a few times.
Yeah,
because,
yeah. I don't know about
we're
I don't know how
that.
often you guys watch our episodes, but we are 100% for 100% on knowing what cards do all the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, what he said. So spoilers aside, we can talk about the new B&R, which came out as of recording just a few days ago.
Yep.
We haven't even. Neither of us have played any games with the new card, but we have done a whole lot of brewing.
Yeah. I've been in Cam's DMs since Monday.
Well, he's always,
I'm always
this guy.
I'm always in them DMs, but since this card came out, woo!
And the B&R proper, like bans and restricted movement on the category list, nothing's changed. It's exactly the same as it was literally 2 weeks ago. I think the last episode that we recorded, we were talking about the last Proxy Vault.
Yeah.
Something interesting is that we were talking about this before the announcement on Monday, and we very much called it.
Yep.
That,
we were sitting down and we were looking at the previous Proxy's Vault and how it pretty much made Sylvie playable. And we were like, oh, you know, it would be really cool if we got a Luxim card. And then 7 o'clock came around, and hey, look, it's a Luxim card.
He needs the help.
So yeah, let's just like jump right into this. It's called Insignia of the Kazi. It's a 0-cost Luxim regalia item, assassin artifact. For the cost of 3 and tapping it, you put a prep counter on your champion.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty cool. Hey, all those, lack of ability to put prep counters on your champion to prepare stuff.
You don't have to play accepted contract unless you want to. Yeah.
This is cool. Oh, hey, look, there's way more text on this card. Class bonus. Whenever you activate a prep card, while your influence is less than 6 or less, draw a card into your memory. Huh.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Is pretty good.
Did you realize this is a Luxim regalia that doesn't come into play tapped? It's great.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's great, yeah. This card is pretty good. I don't know. I don't think it's overpowered. I don't think it's, format changing. But I definitely think it brings Zander to the competitive scene. And Luxim Zander. We're not talking about the fire deck. The fire deck is barely an assassin deck.
Right. You get to play Kazi Courier and Poison Dagger, and that's about it.
The only reason you level to assassin is so you can turn on Poison Dagger. That's the only reason that deck plays it.
Yeah, so I think the cool thing that I've felt about all of the Proxy's Vault cards so far, and this one included, is that I've seen a lot of talk about this card, and people are really split on whether they think it is good or unplayable, which I usually think is the sign of a nice, balanced card, where people don't know if it's broken. Because, like, obviously, if we all looked at this card and we're like, wow, this is busted, and it makes Zander broken, that's not good game design. That's not what we want. So, yeah, I think this sits in a really interesting spot. I think it opens up not only, like, obviously Luxim Zander, because this is a Luxim card, but several archetypes too in that Luxim shell, which I think is really cool. Just like repeated card advantage on a regalia is huge for that deck, because I don't think it's any big revelation to people that, like, once Luxim Zander gets his engine going at level 3, it's like pretty powerful. It's like one of the most powerful things that you can do in the game, especially now with Ascension gone. But he still has a lot of trouble getting there because he vomits so much card advantage in order to get himself into this Luxim state. It's usually really hard for him to crawl back because he doesn't have a whole lot of card advantage. So it's just like Drago, 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 and you do that 5 turns and you die against most any deck. So I think this is a good way to hopefully give him a little bit of a speed boost once he hits level 3.
Because, like, now you can just be like, Poise Strike, prepare it, draw a card into memory. Seems pretty good.
Yeah, I think the obvious synergy here is with 1,000 Refractions, which is a card that you've liked a lot in the past.
Listen, I thought that card was always playable. It wasn't.
It's true.
In fact, it's so wild to me because I've had a playset of them forever. And this card came out, and I went to find my playset. I have no idea where it is. I must have just gave it away.
Steve's been talking about it all week. He lost his 1,000 Refractions, and he's torn up.
I've been actually upset about it. Like, I ripped through my entire collection.
You probably gave them away.
And I was just like, I don't know.
You're a psycho.
I don't know where these cards
probably
are.
One of these animals out here was like, oh, I need these for my 5th playset. Can I have your 1,000 Refractions? You're like, yeah, that card sucks. Here you go.
But I've always been on the fringe, like trying to use the fringe Luxim stuff because I've always been partial to Zander. I really liked playing the water Luxim deck back in the day before Ferrari came out. Thanks, Lime.
Who's that? Oh, you mean starter deck Lorraine?
Huh?
You mean starter deck Lorraine? You know?
I'm lost. It went over my head.
Yeah, I think it's neat.
But yeah, I'm much better much more happy that I can get back to my Luxim Zander.
Yeah. I think all of us are excited to try it out. I assume we'll play locals tonight, and there'll be a lot of Zander players doing a lot of the bad things, you know.
I'm just hoping that because I've already been on this deck that we're all talking about, that I'm going to have the leg up. Hopefully. Because I've already played the deck.
Man's an absolute gamer. So yeah, I'm really interested to see what people do with this. I think there's a couple of ways that you can go with it. We'll see if it makes any waves. It is it's cool that this card is legal. I think yesterday is when it became officially legal. So we have 0 days, and it is legal for our store champs tomorrow, which is cool. You're gonna play Insignia tomorrow at store champs. Yeah. Oh yeah, I love that. We're gonna do it. It's gonna win the tournament. It's gonna take it down. I mean, like it. You know,
I just want you to know when you're handing me that championship mat, I'm gonna say
we can look back on this.
It's gonna be Insignia.
Yeah. Well, who knows? You know, if I don't get the podcast out today, and Sill's mad at me. Sorry, Sill.
We'll just cut this part.
Yeah. I'll put the picture in here of Steve with the play mat. You know, here he is. Congratulations, Steven, on winning the event tomorrow.
I did it.
Yeah. I mean, I think you know it shouldn't go without saying that. I think that like Scepter of Lumina has had such a effect on the format and made an archetype that has traditionally been like pretty low tier, like very powerful. That's the deck that both Trent and I were playing in the finals of our store champs last week. You're seeing a lot of performance from this Water Lorraine deck, and I think it only exists because of Scepter of Lumina.
100%. So
I think that, you know, hopefully this we see some Luxim Zander decks popping around.
I mean, you'll see me from I'm until January 26th. I will be on Wind Zander.
Sure.
Until then,
I'm just I'm fucking around, dude. I got nothing to do except for play all sorts of nonsense.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make this Wind Zander deck my home for the next 2 months, and then as soon as January 26th comes out, we a Tony player, boys.
Big Tony. I was talking to somebody else. I can't remember who it was now, but they were, really excited for shirtless Tony. He's testing really well with the youth. Everybody loves that shirtless Tony. Us included.
It's a good course. It's a good one.
So that's it for the BNR new Luxim card. We will report back to you
on how well do it.
He has done with it. Which is hopefully well. I don't know. Excited to test it out tonight. Maybe it'll be sick or trash, which is great. Who knows?
Yeah.
So other things to talk about. Very recent. I think it was yesterday, maybe the day before that.
2 days ago.
Roger posted a developer update. I was on the way home, and obviously I have the notifications on for the announcements channel on the GA Discord. And so I get the notification, and it says GA TCG article a state of the company or whatever, I think is what it said in the link that was initially posted. And I was like, oh no. Oh no.
State of the business.
Yeah, it's like that. I was like, oh my God, that sounds terrible. But it's not. It's all good news.
Yeah.
I was just like, are we gonna die? Is this it? Big shout out to the whole crew being on the front page. Steven himself, bright and center,
right there. Look at
the middle of this article.
You can just see me from a mile away.
We made our big TV debut. We have Steve, and we have Steve's hand, and we have everybody
Cam's
else.
hat.
Yeah, my hat, my legs, and Steve's hands. So yeah, they put out a developer article updating the future of Grand Archive, stuff that they're going to be working on, which I think is really cool. I've always loved how transparent the development team is. And so I think it's great that we're seeing, a little bit more, not like this isn't like a article full of spoilers. There's, I guess, a couple of art spoilers in here. But, just updates on how the company's doing and what the future is going to hold. Mm-hmm. First up, they are expanding the team, which is good. There's only,
6 of them.
Only 6 of them, so expanding the team is good. So you have my number.
Yeah.
But, no. But I think, I mean, it goes without saying that, if the game is seeing any sort of success, which it seems like it really is, that they will have to hire more people, and it looks like I don't know. It didn't expressly say, but I assume it's working towards the things that they mentioned in the article, all of which are I think super important and huge. They talk about improving their social media presence, which is great. I think that
Cam.
Well, I should know,
improving social media.
Right. Yeah, I got a lot to do, Stephen.
I mean, you rebranded the Lineage break to the Cam break.
Yeah, I post on there sometimes.
Yeah.
Gotta
get back on that.
But obviously social media is super important, especially for a smaller game where you're just like looking to reach people and get the word out. And then I think the Twitter account's been like pretty dormant for a long time, much like ours. And then they talk about obviously very important to us, developing organized play for your local game store. Which again is huge. I think one of the coolest things that other games that we support in the store do is they're great with promotional materials. As much as I want to say bad things about Wizards of the Coast, they do great promotional materials for Magic. They put out these cool foil posters every set, and we get obviously I do think GA does great in the promotional pack thing. Like obviously event packs are awesome, but I think that the game would benefit from some more promotional support,
posters and banners and tablecloths.
Sorry, thought I heard something out there. Tablecloths would be great. Yeah, that's the thing that Flesh and Blood did once that is super cool. But I think more promos is good. The only problem that I have with event packs as a as an institution is that
you haven't pulled a CSR out of it.
Well, that's kind of part of it. Like no joke is that I think they're super exciting in theory. So of course everybody shows up for their event packs because they do have these chase cards in them, right? But those chase cards can only be chase cards if they're hard to get, right? So we've run locals for 6 months now. As soon as Alter came out, we've been running locals, and we've opened no CSRs in the store. Not like oh boohoo me, I haven't opened any CSRs. Like the whole store, we've opened none. We opened I think somebody opened a CSR out of a booster pack once as prize support, but none out of the event packs. So I think it after a while becomes sort of disheartening that nobody's opening the fancy chase cards. So it's well, why am I bending over backwards to make sure I show up to these events to get these event packs and not opening any of the chase cards? So I think it would be cool if they supplement organized play with, I think they mentioned in this article, release promos for, big events, maybe, promotional stuff I think would be good. The problem that we're having with GA, and I don't know if this is something that happens elsewhere, but a lot of us that play the game are super competitive. We're traveling to Ascent and playing in these competitive tournaments for GA just because we're very competitive people. But with the lack of a robust limited format for the game, there aren't really any casual avenues for players to dive into. So these new players that get interested in the game, of course we are super friendly and try to be as helpful as possible, and I think we do a great job at that. But at the end of the day, when you're playing a deck that you're testing for store championships and you're playing against a new player, it feels pretty bad for them, right?
Right. Yeah. And it's hard to shut it off, right? When you're trying to I'm putting in the grinding effort, and then you're playing against a new player, it's hard to sit down and go, okay, maybe I shouldn't combo kill them, maybe I should slow down, but then the deck does not perform the way it's supposed to.
Right. Yeah, I always try to put on the brakes and play a little bit slower when I'm playing with new players. But the issue when half of your room is casual players and half of your room is competitive players is if you bring a casual deck to that event, then you play against the competitive players and you're gonna get stomped, but then you play against the casual players, and it's a hard balance to strike, and I think it'll get even harder when Omnidex comes out, because I think there's some sort of ELO implications. I hope hopefully, I know some of the devs watch the show. I hope that ELO is not something that you can earn at your locals. I think that is a terrible idea. That's, you know, something that Flesh and Blood avoids as well. Like, you don't want your, like, casual local level event to be people, you know, like, playing the absolute best deck that they can because they can't lose a single game because it's so bad for their ELO. Hopefully ELO is only for, like, you know, store champs and ups. But where I was going with this is I think additional promo support is great, and I think that hopefully encouraging other ways to play is great. Something that we did when Alter came out is we ran like a starter deck tournament, and that's something that I want to get back towards, is doing some more like starter deck only events so everybody's on a level playing field. Usually that's something that would be solved by like limited, right? Like when you want a more casual crowd, you can do like sealed or draft, because at least, you know, even if you're like a better player or whatever, you're on an equal playing field with everybody, right? But it's hard to do in GA, and I know that ALC is not going to be limited forward. So we're going to be looking, you know, hopefully for more ways to breach that casual market, which I think is really tough.
Yeah, I think structured deck tournaments are probably like a very good spot to start.
Yeah.
Just because it's just like, hey, buy this deck, play in this event, everyone's on the same page.
Right. But yeah, I think you know, support from the devs for stuff like that would be a terrific step towards growing the game. Is, you know, you put out some sort of promos that are only supposed to be for structure deck events, right? Which encourages stores and you know, TOs to run stuff that is more casual focused, because I think GA is doing a great job. I liken the game to Flesh and Blood a lot in the way that it's growing. I think it's doing a great job growing in the competitive market. And I think GA, way more than most other things, is doing a great job growing in the collector's market, because they're so collector forward, which I think is terrific. But always the hardest, but also the biggest crowd to reach is the casual community, right? It seems like, you know, Magic is almost holistically absorbed casual card gamers, and now we have Lorcana that's taking a large chunk of that as well. But it's such a huge market. Like, people that play competitive card games is such a small percentage of the people that just, like, you know, want to play at their kitchen table. And so, you know, if a smaller indie game like Grand Archive can break into that market even just a little bit, I think it would be great for the game going forward. So hopefully we see some more support from organized play. I think just like more promotional materials is great, and they do a great job. The promotional stuff that they have for the game is so fantastic. Like, obviously we have the 6x3 mat on one of our tables at the store, and that thing is absolutely gorgeous. We went to Ascent, and all of the like promotional materials that they had at Ascent there were so great.
All the banners and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, to the point where, like, you know, anyone who's seen our store, and maybe you saw it in our goofy video in the background, we personally like had a couple of Grand Archive banners printed, like on Vistaprint. Like, we found the file and we made our own banners so that we could advertise the game, right? And that's not something that everybody can do or like will do, right? Like, somebody who's much less enfranchised in the game than we are is not going to go out of their way to print their own promotional materials, right? So yeah, I think like banners and stuff would be great. Because I know they do a great job at it. I don't know what the logistical costs of that are. That's not, you know, that's out of my wheelhouse a little bit. But yeah, more stuff to advertise the game, especially because the art is so gorgeous. And I think anybody who has seen like a CSR in person is always blown away. Like, that's what I do when, you know, people are like trying to, you know, they're like, oh, I don't know, but they like, you know, don't hate the art style, right? I'm like, here, look at this, you know, card, and I give them a, you know, Banner Knight or whatever. I'm like, here, look how nice it looks, because they have just the nicest cards on the market. Yeah. Yeah. Words. How do you feel, Steven? I'm just screaming at you.
I think it's fine.
20 minutes.
But no, I agree with you. I think a good step towards getting the, you know, more eyes on the game, or giving local stores banners or posters, just anything to like get more eyes on the game.
Right.
So then they go, oh, what's this? And you can go, oh, well, hey, this is a new card game. You know, would you like a demo?
Right.
I know we have talked multiple times about doing full demo days where we just, have a couple people in here. We have it all set up. Just be like, hey, come check out this game, and then run demos.
I'm gonna hire you full time to just sit at a table and run GA demos
on Fridays. Perfect.
No, just every day.
Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah, you just have to be here every day.
Okay. Well,
forever.
I need like $30 an hour to supplement
that. I can give you a place to sleep, and it's under the table that you work at.
Okay.
Thoughts?
No.
Okay. I'll go back to the drawing board on that one.
But yeah, no. I think a big thing is like you were saying, like getting banners and stuff like that, because like Magic does it, right? They give you a poster every time people come in. They go, oh look, Magic poster, new set.
Right.
But for a smaller game like this, it's hard to get the word out because people aren't really paying attention, right?
Yeah. And like you have to get the word out, and then you have to keep people around, right? And those are the two hardest things, especially in such a small game. Where, like I said, the people that are playing it are so enfranchised. Like I don't want to drag anybody on the internet, but we have some like more casual players that play in our play group, right? And I've seen them go to other events that are not here, right? Where the prize support is like either a little bit smaller or it's a little bit like more top heavy, right? And they like play the event because they're enfranchised in the game, and I'm so glad to see them show up. But they don't like perform nearly as well as I think they would like to, and then they like leave feeling bad, right? Where I like when I run events, I try to always have like giveaways and make sure that there's like door prizes and stuff for showing up, because you have to like keep the people that are interested in your game happy. Around, right? It can't just be the Cabins of the world that are winning the tournament. Of course they're happy, right? But it's the people that show up every time and don't do as well, or are not like trying to take the game super competitively and just like want to play it for fun. But it does feel bad if you're like just trying to have a good time and you're playing the game for fun, but all of the prize support is like top heavy. Then you like don't get any of the cool stuff, which is why I think so many of us try so hard, is because we want the cool stuff, right? But yeah, it's a hard balance to strike. So yeah, I think more stuff for the casual players would be great, and hopefully we see that. And I think they alluded to that. Like I said, they talk about like stamped release promos, which is something that Magic's done for a very long time that I'm a really big fan of. I don't know if other people feel the same, but the last thing in this article that we want to talk about before we rant and rave for hours is the global outreach that Grand Archive is doing. They have partnered with PhD's like Europe branch called Bliss to distribute the game in Europe. I know that the distribution in Europe has been sort of a nightmare.
Yeah,
we've heard from Clem about that and how awful the distribution has been, at least for DOA. I didn't really hear if it was nearly as bad for FTC, but obviously more distributors is better. Monopolies are never good. I think it was just Blackfire was distributing in Europe, which means that they basically just get to do whatever the fuck they want, which is not good. So it's great to see them partnering with another distributor, and PhD's who we use. I'm a big fan of PhD, so glad to see them doing that in Europe. And then, of course, something that we mentioned a while ago that got announced at Ascent, Grand Archive is partnering with Dragon Shield, which is great. I think I can't understate enough how great that is for advertising, for the players,
and not only all that, but like Dragon Shield art sleeves are beautiful.
Right.
They're
super
really
nice. And I think Roger alludes in this article that we are getting more than Merlin, which is something that we talked about.
The first time
we mentioned Merlin is that we will be getting more stuff, and those will be announced soon. So.
Yeah. They're under, what is this?
Yeah, I assume they're going to be for ALC, if I was a betting man.
Yeah, yep. They will be launched along with Alchemical Revolution on January 26th.
Which means hopefully that's Champion Sleeves, baby, which hopefully means that's Ari Sleeves.
Shirtless Tony, maybe?
Sure. Shirtless Tony Sleeves would be a lot. They'd sell well.
I'd buy them.
I know.
I would only use them.
I think I would replace all of the sleeves in the store. You know, it's like, oh, you guys have sleeves? I'm like, yeah, they're over there on the wall. And it's just rows and rows and rows of shirtless Tony. Like, do you have anything else? I'm like, no. That's all you need.
Yeah.
You know?
This is the best sleeve in the world.
Right. Yeah. Maybe we can, if we buy in bulk, we get like a little bit of a discount, you know? I don't know.
I don't know. All I'm saying is Lineage break sleeves when?
Yeah. Official. Yeah. Sleeves they're kind of a pain to make. Trent made some custom sleeves that any of you that play in the Yeti locals may have seen him using, but they cost him it's like $40 or something for a pack of sleeves from Dragon Shield, which is wild money. But yeah, obviously Dragon Shield's great. Such a household name in the community. So it's great to see.
Yeah, I think anyone that's using standard size cards in a card game is
at least knows about Dragon Shield.
At least knows about it, if
know?
not only uses them.
Right.
I think I only use the.
I think they're the most ubiquitous for sure.
Even with all of the manufacturing issues I've come across in Dragon Shields.
Yep.
You know, I still will only buy Dragon Shields.
Hey, not to be a shill. Of course, you guys know that I'm a shill, but something that I can say about Dragon Shield sleeves that have been marred with consistency issues is every pack of matte art sleeves that I've ever purchased have always been very nice. I've never had any problems with those. So
yeah.
It feels like the higher you go on the Dragon Shield food chain, you have your standard sleeves, then you have your matte sleeves, and you have your dual matte sleeves, and you have your art matte sleeves. And the higher you go up on the food chain, the higher the QA is what it feels like.
Yeah.
You just get a normal pack of Dragon Shields, and it looks like, it's they're all different sizes. And
I was at a Force of Will event at one time, and I needed new sleeves because my sleeves got scuffed in round one.
So that's how it goes.
Had to re-sleeve.
Yep.
When I bought a thing of Crimson Dragon Shield, just
nice.
Regular.
It's good color.
It's good color. I open it up. Along the bottom of every sleeve, there was a little bit of burr.
Great.
That had to be physically removed. I had to peel off bits of sleeve, and I literally had to call over the head judge for round 2. Yeah. And I said, I just bought these sleeves. I need to do this, and I have to re-sleeve my deck. So I got a time extension because of it. So
I hate that.
I've only ever bought the higher quality sleeves.
And they're nice. Maybe that's how they get you, It's just keep buying these dual mats. And
I think I have a million cajillion sets of dual mats.
I'm surely going to sleeve everything I own in Ari sleeves if those exist. So
yeah.
Sorry, Tony sleeves. That's what I meant. I meant, yeah.
Well, main deck Ari, side deck Tony.
Right.
Or
true.
Material deck Tony.
Or I go 1 and 1,
Yeah. Because that's
legal,
problem,
right? Yeah. All right, so I think that's it. That's all that we have for you today. Lots to talk about. Like we said, next week we'll do spoilers. We'll at least start that mammoth of a project to go through all of the spoilers. Sorry we've been gone. We're back. Thank you guys for watching.
We're back for this week and next week, and then off for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, is that true?
Yeah,
that sounds about right. Yeah, whatever. Maybe we'll record a couple of things next week, and we'll release them slow.
Yeah.
Once again, if you guys are in the Northeast area, please do come to our regionals December 2nd to Webway Games. We're super excited. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Discord. You can find me under some sort of cursed name. If you look up Lineage Breakdown, you should find me. But
I think it's.
I think I'm Star Call Me maybe right now.
Oh, is that true? I was like, I thought it was Arisana Fan Club president.
Yeah. I move around.
I am, of course, Lineage LB Steve on everything, so you can easily find me.
You can find us
if you need questions or anything. Just hit us up. We're very friendly.
Well, all right.
If it's past midnight EST, please find Cam.
I'll be on League of Legends. You can find me on League.
Well, you want to give them your league name?
Yeah, my league name is Tower Bottom. So you can add me on League of Legends.
Oh God!
All right, I will see you guys later. We will see you next week. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, as always, thanks.
That is my name.
Did you change it?
I change it all the time.
I was like, I thought you were Coin Purse something.